The first thing that I want to demonstrate, and I'll show you, this is my sample sheet. I showed the different pen styles on here and the way that I'm using them and the different effects. And I'm going to actually do that now, so I'm just going to move these over here. Put this here, get my paper out. Let's turn it this way. I have a spritzer bottle. I've been using that to spritz the ink. And let's start with the R2 pen. I just draw a circle on the page. Make a nice round circle and then put some shadowing underneath of it. And this is just for sake of demonstrating. What's important is what I'm going to show you with the technique that I really do like to use to get a really nice black area on your page. And then spritz it with water. And I'm just going to put kind of a controlled spritz. I'm not just going to let it splatter everywhere. I'm just going to put a little spritz of water on there. See how that's wet? I'm going to use the medium-sized brush, and I'm going to dip my brush in there and let it flow out. Look at how much ink I can use. And I use this to achieve tones on my page. When I did this drawing, I knew in advance that this area in here was going to be very dark. So I used this in the same sense of what I'm showing you here. I got it very, very dark, and then I wet it like I did here, and I was able to lift ink from here and go in with tones in some of these other areas where I don't want it quite so dark. And that is really the technique that I wanted to show you here, but there's a lot more to it than just this. I want to continue showing you the pens and the ways that they react differently. Now I'm going to show you the Uniball Vision pen here. We're going to do the same thing. Let's write here, R2. I'm just going to put ink R2, so I remember what circle belongs to which pen. Okay, right beside it, I'm going to do the Vision Elite. This is all black ink. I know you can get the R2 in black and blue at the Dollar Tree. There was a question on the live video, can you get it in colors? And I think it was Terry, thank you very much, who did find some different colors in this R2 pen. And I think it's at the Dollar General store. I haven't been there yet to see. She found them online. I think that's great. I like the pens. If I can get my hands on some colored ones, I'm certainly going to do that. Okay, so now I'm doing the same technique with my Vision Elite pen. These pens come 2 for $1. They're 50 cents a piece. This pen, I think, comes in a pack of 2 for about $8. I'm just estimating. It's around that. It's a more expensive pen. It's a nice pen, and it's really nice to write with. But in my case, I'm not writing. I'm drawing. I'm doing mixed media art. Price point wise, I really prefer the cheaper pen. I think they do very nice. I like them a lot. I think they're a good value. Okay, we've got a nice blotch there. Let's put a little controlled, if I can get it out, just a few drops of water on that. And I'm going to wash my brush off so that I don't contaminate from here to here. And I'm going to bring it out. Very nice, the same type of effect. Now I notice a difference in the ink. Right away, when you're using this, if you do this comparison, right away you will see a difference in the ink. Not only in the tone and the hue of the ink, but also in the way that it feels. That's the only way that I can describe it. This feels to me like a higher quality ink. I feel the smoothness of it. This is a little bit more coarse, but that's to be expected. But it gives a very nice tone. The tone here, even though that it's high quality, not quite as dark. I like it. There's simply nothing wrong with it. And if you want a really nice sketch, and if you want to use this technique, by all means, go with a little bit more expensive pen. For my purposes, I'm just out sketching. I'm just having fun. The other thing I wanted to point out, and I'm not sure that you can see it here, but look at the difference in the coloration of these inks. This is a darker, and I don't see it on this one so much, but this has more of a red, bluish purple tone to it, and this is more of a gray tone. I want to say a gray-brown. So the difference in inks in these pens is something to consider too. So let's write here, Vision Elite, which by the way is a very nice pen. I'm going to invest in a package of them. The next pen that I want to show you is, it's just a plain ballpoint pen. I don't have big pens on hand, so I found this one. It's a Holiday Express pen. If you happen to be on vacation, don't have your ink pens with you, you reach for the hotel pen. Let's see what it can do. Let's draw the same circle here. And let's put in a black area. Now I do find right away I have to work a little harder to get ink on the page. The flow of the ink out of the pen is not as soft, and it comes, you're getting it on there, but you have to work a little harder and you have to put a little bit more pressure on the page. I want to be sure I get a lot of ink on it, so I'm just going to kind of scribble a spot under here. Now, let's wash my brush off. Make sure that I want to be wary about contaminating from these two onto this one. Okay, now I'm going to do my little controlled spritz here of water. Now I've got a lot of water on there. In fact, it's only going over to the side here. But look, I did not get that immediate flow of ink that I got with these two. And it's really hard. This is, I guess you could say, to its advantage, it's more of a permanent ink. So that not be an advantage. I have to work at it to get, I'm getting a little tone. I'm bringing out a little the more I work with it. A very light gray. Look, it's coming out, but it's not that immediate pop of ink that I would expect with these two. So that could be a good thing. I would say this is more of a permanent ink, but if you're wanting to go for tonal values, it's not what I was expecting to see, or not what I wanted to see. Okay, I'm going to put ballpoint pen here. Hotel. Okay, the other pen that I wanted to show you was the Sharpie pen. Now, I'm using the Sharpie Fine Point for two reasons. They sell it as a waterproof pen, which I really like. I would expect something like this to happen with it. But also, the other Sharpie pens are a felt tip, and this, I believe, is a felt tip, but it's just a little bit smaller, and it's comparable to what these two are over here. So I'm just going to make my same circle, put in my black spot here, just as if I were sketching an orange and putting in a shadow. Of course, these shadows are fairly large, but I want them large because I want to create that pop of ink. Now, I would expect this not to flow too much. And I will say, I like the Sharpie pens to sketch faces with. I really do, because the lines don't bleed, and once I put them down there, they're down there. And very controlled. I like these to sketch faces with just as much as if I were doing a sketch with a Zig pen or a micron pen, or one of those Sigma pens. These are very nice pens and a good value for the money that you pay for them. I think you get 2 of them for like $4 or $5, up in that range. I'm just estimating. I would have to look again. Okay, let's wash our brush off. Make sure I don't have any ink on it. Give it the little controlled spritz here. And again, I put an awful lot of water on there. I'm getting a lot off even over into here. But still, you do not get, you get just a little bit more than you get. I have to say, I can get some. In fact, I get a lot more. I've seen this consistent now. A little with the Hotel ballpoint pen. A little more here with the Sharpie fine point. But not that immediate pop of color that I get with these two. You have to work at it to get them. Which it can be worked as to an advantage. I mean, I'm not saying it's a disadvantage. I'm saying it's a difference. I'm going to write fine point Sharpie. I like these pens a lot. I use them a lot. I like all the Sharpie pens. And then the last one that I wanted to show you was the ink precision pen, which is along the same product line as this ink R2 pen, except it's got a finer point. And let's just do that up here. I'm going to put my hand here so that I don't squish it in the ink below. Get a black shadow area under here, as if I were drawing a shadow underneath of this orange, only a great big shadow. Get lots of ink on there. Let's write it up here. Ink precision. And let's do our spritz of water. See, I just put a spritz there, and I can tell already I'm getting that pop of color. Look. Look at all that ink. This is very much a soluble ink, and you can see, let me bring it up close to the camera. You can see the red tones in this ink. Very, very much, especially while it's still wet. A lot of red tones in this ink. Maybe not so much in that. This went more bluish. And then gray tones in this ink, and these. This is a little blue from the Sharpie and gray again from the Hotel ballpoint. But you get that nice flow of color. And that's what I'm after in the main technique that I'm going to show in this video. So, I'm going to write on here pen comparisons. And I'm just going to put YT over here so that I know this page goes with my YouTube demonstration.